They're not even thicker than a normal flare nut wrench at a 16 millimeter. I'll be damned in hell. What up, guys? CP the Tool Addict. Woo! Woo, buddy! How you guys doing today? I hope you're fired up. Hope you're ready to do another great vidya. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. Always talking about cool stuff, man, because we cool over here. Well, we're not cool. It's about 80. Let's see what the temperature is in here. Let's see what the temperature is with my trusty AT. Can you see that? Can you see that? 84 degrees. We've got a nice patent fan to keep us cool. Hopefully that isn't getting into the mic too much. But anyways, guys, today I want to talk about something, and might get a little salty. I got a problem. A couple of just lame comments. But we're going to jump right into this one. Get into it. I get this question quite a bit, and I think Torque Test Channel did a really good job of showcasing. And I will tell you that I don't shy away. I got these Snap-on flare nut wrenches, and they're awesome. And the Armstrongs, I got a pair of Armstrongs. My worst flare nut wrench, which I think Torque Test Channel pretty much showed me that everything that I knew about this was they're trash. Never been a big fan of them, but looking into the history of the flare nut wrench, Flair! You guys know Fishing with Flair? Any of you guys know Fishing with Flair? He's here in Iowa. Shoo! A little shout out to him. But flare nut wrench is one of those things where it's pretty hard to skimp out on them. And they have a couple of purposes that are just absolutely a necessity. Anywhere you have a line, and they're called actually a line wrench. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you want to look at the history and talk about something that is absolute, the birds chirping, absolutely crazy, is try to look up the history of a flare nut wrench or line wrench and see when exactly they came around. And there's still patents going out on them. I kid you not. I can't even make this stuff up. But that's, the point of this video isn't really the flare nut wrench. Because I think Torque Test Channel, and I've talked about these before, when it comes right down to it, guys, I'm putting my money on Snap-on. Don't care if I was broke, I'd still save up to buy Snap-ons. Mac ones, heard a lot of guys say Mac ones, Cornwell. I don't have any of those. I do have a Armstrong, and it is held up. But you just notice the heft on them. We'll get back to that in a second, talk about that. But today we're going to talk about these bad boys. Some of you might have saw them, some of you might not have saw them. But recently, I had a couple of, how do I say this nicely, without sounding like I'm bitter, or just, I just had a couple of people that were talking trash, and it's just, it boggles the mind. One of them was a Snap-on guy. Well, let's put it to you this way. This guy was never a Snap-on guy. In fact, now he all of a sudden is a Snap-on guy, and he knows everything, which I guess that's kind of what happens with some of these Snap-on guys, They get on a Snap-on truck, and all of a sudden, they are the experts of tools. Using these tools for 26 years versus you had a job as a municipal worker, and now all of a sudden, you're the expert of tools, and you didn't ever use them. But whatever. And that brings me to another quick one, guys, a little quick rant in here. I want to express that there is really good DIY guys out there doing really good tool reviews, and they don't really step on any toes, and they're not trying to. They have a good grasp on everything. Okay, Midwest Tool Review, Last Best Tool, Tom Gun, Scout Crafter. There's several channels. Man Caver, all great channels that absolutely. Their profession isn't professional in the professional trade, but they do some pretty good stuff, and they definitely keep their mind going in the right direction, and they understand. I think they get it. Okay, that sometimes there's just tools that you just probably don't use as a DIYer, and these are one of those tools. And I tell you right now, I know for a fact that several of you guys, a lot of you know down in that comment box, right down there, get down in there. And don't forget to smash that like button for me. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe. Don't cost you a thing, and it just helps a fella out. But I got no problem. Okay, there's a huge separation between DIY and mechanics. The reason that is because this is why. This is one of those deals, and we're going to get into this, okay? This socket, I showed these quite a while back, and these things are absolute lifesavers. Now, this joker who in question, who messaged me, said, hey, I heard about these sockets, and they're junk. And I was like, oh, really? Well, that's funny, because I know about 50 mechanics here in my area that have these, and they love them for doing power steering lines and whatnot, and they are the bee's knees. And I'll tell you, these are not high torque applications. The reason these things, and I'll show you one real quick thing. The reason guys love these things is because they also turn into a wrench with a flexible end on them, and they got some beef to them, okay? And so you can kind of snake up around a corner there, and you can get into a line, and they can rip on them a little bit. Rip on them! And that's exactly why, or if you're getting down into somewhere like so, you can get in there and you can reef on them. These are meant to like tighten and maybe loosen a little bit, and not to get, you're not going to be doing this all day long with them, fellas. This is not what this is made for. You're going to wear yourself out. It's just to get in those tight spots and save you some time. And trust me, these things pay them for themselves. Now, these are dynamics. Mac had the same ones. Tonei's got the same ones. But the thing in question was he was talking about, and I just find it absolutely hilarious that this joker talks about this, because it shows me his lack of intelligence when it comes to tools. Okay, he's talking about this right here. The size difference. This is a 19 millimeter, and this, my friends, is a 17 millimeter, okay? And, or 16, excuse me, this is 16. And if you look at this at a glance, you'll go, oh my God, CP, it's the same size. Because it's thicker right here, okay? But it's not taller right here. That being said, because there's more material in this area over here, less material up here. So this has some more girth. But, lo and behold, are they thicker than an actual flare nut wrench? Well, let's just pull out a 16 millimeter flare nut wrench, line wrench, whatever you call it. Oh my God, they're not even there. They're not even thicker than a normal flare nut wrench at a 16 millimeter. I'll be damned in hell. This really makes no hiding their hair. Here's a 19 millimeter, and let's look at this one versus these crow's foot. Which I'm just showing you this, and I don't even know why I'm wasting my time, because this is one of the dumbest arguments I've had about these that I've ever heard in my entire life. It's just foolish and stupid. And when you hear somebody say this, know that they have zero knowledge of what a tool is, because a flare nut wrench itself, as you can see, 19 millimeter line wrench is bigger than this one right here too. So that in case, well, by God, CP, what are you trying to say here? I'm saying is that these weren't meant for high torque applications, and you should know that, because I know, because I know. Look at it. I mean, it's like this, but these have very specific uses for them, and that's to get into a tight access area, tighten down a nut or break a nut loose. First of all, ABS modules, check. I use a lot of the smaller ones, obviously a standard, and just to point this out a little bit, I also use these guys right here, and you'll see right here. Well, geez, CP. I mean, when we're talking about thickness, well, the snap-on's so thick, it's thicker than those. And guys use these for injection line sockets. These are absolutely one of those things. It's a specialty tool that's a must-have. You're doing a rack and pinion on something, and you got one of those lines that's, you know, you guys know that work on this stuff as much as I do. You got one of these areas where these will just save you. Now, Tonei makes the same set of sockets. They're not the same exactly, but these are 60 bucks, roughly 60, 50 bucks. I'll put in the description, link in the description down below, and I think I have a discount code for you, so stick around. Put a link in the description. I have a discount code for you, but if you put, and it saves you 15%, but anyways, if you put this into an area where it's a tight access and you're just trying to get that thing snug down, that's where these things shine. And I'm telling you what, I know several guys, and if you know you know, like I said, comment down in that comment box, because you understand these things, where they come in handy, and what they're good for. The relevance of it being thicker on one side than the other, it's because this is shorter. This is a 16 millimeter, like I said. This is a 19. And let's measure it just to show you the actual difference in thickness, okay? Intelligence is a scary thing, fellas. 1287, that is for the, we're talking minuscule. That's for the 16 millimeter. 1287, 1243. We are talking absolute whisker differences here. That's the argument, is what a fella says, okay? You're not going to worry, that's not going to make a factor whether or not you're going to be able to get in to use this. Trust me. If you're on a 16 millimeter nut, any mechanic knows you're in a 16, 19 millimeter area, it's not going to matter. And of course, once again, we go with the same. Flare, when you're using a line nut wrench, you're not worried about having conservative space. I'm going to tell you that right now. These things are thick boys. Thick boys. Anytime you bust out the old flare nut line wrench, you're just not getting something. This is not a tight access wrench. And that's exactly why this tool is an amazing tool for when you're trying to do something. I know a guy that literally has bought a set of these, spent 60 bucks here, cranking out power steering racks in the dealership, and he said that set alone made him $3,000 because he could sneak up around the back without having to pull away the cradle so far to get one of these flare nuts in there, and he could sneak in there and zip that thing and crack that nut loose. Big difference. May not be for everybody, and once again, I had to compensate for his argument and do a video and let him know, listen fella, here's how this works, rather than sit there and try to write an essay. But anyways, guys, that's the video for you. Must have tools from Dynamic. Link in the description. I will try to put a discount code down there. I believe I have one. Appreciate you guys watching. As always, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that bell. Remember, keep your paws dirty and your money clean. Thanks for watching.